Award, which is also the last award, is the Poets Without Border Peace Award. Did I say that? This is the Poets Without Borders Peace Award for all three, Ashok and for Ariadne, and now for Daryl Hilaire. Would you please come up, Daryl? So thank you, Daryl, for the long wait that you just endured. Appreciate it. So this is in recognition of your creation and production of original dramas, What About Those Promises, and Sonny Sixkiller Buys the Washington Redskins, that illuminate the Native American experience in ways that address issues directly while building understanding among people of many cultures. It's great to know you, and I'm happy to give you this award. It's all yours.
It's all mine. Sam, Nostalgia Sam. First off, I'd like to thank Carla and all the folks that brought us together. Skate-O Light on Detroit. Real good work. I think that the time for us to do this time to gather, it brings to mind a part of a prayer, and I probably ask our friends here from the different nations. It goes, the disunited mind is far from wise. How can it meditate? How can it be at peace? And if you don't know peace, how can you know joy? I think that's what we're after here. And just my story here is, in 1855, a young man by the name of Frank Hilaire, he wasn't known as Frank Hilaire then, he was known as Hetalak. He got in the back of the canoe with his elders and they went to Mukilteo. And they signed a peace treaty with the United States government. And Frank Hilaire came back from Mukilteo. Him and his family moved from Cherry Point to a place called the Lummi Reservation. Years later, in 1930, Frank Hilaire got his grandkids together, my father, and he formed a dance troupe called the Children of the Setting Sun. And he took them up to the Peony in Vancouver, and my father said they spent 2 weeks up there. And they sang and they danced for the people. Frank Hilaire, my great-grandfather, wanted to let the people know who we are and where we come from and what our message is and could be for all these people that came to this area at that time. And when he was on his deathbed, he gathered all of his grandkids together and he gave them instructions. He said, "Keep my fires burning." So he died, and his son, Joe Hilaire, continued on. Children of the Setting Sun. And then Joe passed on. And those that are from Bellingham here, you might know some of the history here. These names: Sam Cady, Jack Cady, Joe Washington, James Smitty Hilaire, and Pauline Hilaire. All got versions of the Children of the Setting Sun going. And they traveled all over the Pacific Northwest and up and down the coast and into Vancouver to keep his fires burning. And then they stopped. They got older and they needed to rest. So my cousins, we all got together and we got a canoe together, the Setting Sun. And we traveled around and we raced and we continued our family tradition. And we got lazy, so we put the canoe away. And now, today, these past 4 years, I wish I could share them all with you, but we did an identity conference. We did a Coast Salish meditation called Beginnings. It's an audio book. We did a little video about welcoming our kids home from foster care. And then now these two plays. And it's all under Setting Sun Productions. And next is we're going to tell the story of the Basket Lady. And the Basket Lady's job is to bring discipline to our families and our community, to pick up those children and put them in her basket and take them away, and teach them a lesson. So we're going to send the Basket Lady to Wall Street. And we also want to tell the story of the Sockeye, the epic story of the Sockeye, the most sacred and precious of our ancestors. But back to some of the work, and this is, I guess, the poetry, Carla, is that in Sixkiller, we had to share our view on the humiliation of the use of our symbols, of our regalia, of our prayers that you see on television every Sunday. And through that, we decided to not change the name of the Redskins, but we changed the name of the players on the team. And then on the team, there was a white man, and we decided to call him Snowflake. And then members of our cast were researching those things that are derogatory to the Jewish people. And because the owner of the Redskins is Jewish. And we discovered that snowflake is derogatory. That snowflake symbolized, it was a derogatory term used by the Nazis. They called the Jewish that were in line to go to concentration camp, they called them snowflake. Because in the incinerators, the ashes from their bodies would float down like snow. And so we're going to do something the next time we do Sixkiller. We're going to put that name away. And we're going to call our Jewish brothers and sisters up on stage and have a ceremony to end that bit of hatred. That's how our story continues, and that's how I think poetry is written. Right smack dab from us here in this house.